right. Gotta clean my room. Well, I've already got 4 thummies. Isn't that sweet? I'm a little bit early, but I figured I'd click now so I don't get started on something else. Fix my hair because it drives me crazy. All right. So I can see somebody's here, but I can't see who it is. Unless there's a way you guys can tell me how I can do that. I don't know how. Unless you guys chat, I can't see who's here. I wish I could. Well, I know Fritzy's here. Hi, baby. Hi, Frittabiddle. Hi, Becky. How are you? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. You caught me cleaning up my room. Check this out. I've been doing this all day. I'm obsessed. It's so much fun. I can't stop. Like I tried to do a, oh yeah. Nice. So here's a betta fish. Oh, it looks prettier on there. Hi, Gail. Good afternoon. Welcome. I was just showing Becky what I've been doing all morning. I'm telling you, crafting. Hi, Barb. How are you? Let me get my notebook out. How's everybody doing? I've got my cheat sheet. I've got everything going on. Let me see. Who we got? Let's write this down. I need a bigger room, a bigger desk. I need a bigger something, that's for sure. It is so fun. Yeah, Barb, I'm great. Thank you. Yeah, this quilling is so fun. I'm in trouble because you know what I'm going to do. Can't you roll while you chat or turn us up so you can hear us? Well, thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you can come back. Finding the dining room table. Yeah, I try not to let my crafts go out of the room because they'll never come back because I love to have more room. How is everybody? Did everybody get up to chapter 14? Did you read ahead? There's 2 questions. Let's see. I think I've got everybody. Now, up on top, I put, hi, Margaret. How are you? Okay, first question for everybody. Hi, Karen. Yes and yes. Yes, you were up on the book, and yes, you read forward. Aha. How far forward did you read, Gail? I'm going to tell you full disclosure, I finished it. So. Oh, no. Margaret, I hope you feel better. I don't like thinking that you don't feel well. All right, so you're up to chapter 24. That's cool. Yeah, so I finished it, so I had to go back and read what was just up to chapter 14. So. Oh, Margaret, that's terrible. I used to get swimmer's ear when I was little. Talk about the pain of that. That was crazy. Yeah, Gail, it's really nice listening to it on audiobook. It just flow. I like the narrator. I like his voice. So that's pretty cool. So let's see. Margaret, are you reading the book or are you listening to the book? All right, Barb. Did you get up to chapter 14, you think? Well, you'll know once we talk. Read it. Okay. All right, cool. I just realized I'm leaning into you guys. I'm right in your face. Sorry. I don't need to be all bugging right in your face like that. So, drinking my seltzer. I've got, yeah, so what I did was I finished reading the book and there was a question I had, and I'm like, wait a minute. So then I just popped in the movie again because I had already watched it once and it answered my question. So that's pretty cool. Thank you all for the thummies. That's awesome. Give it a little bit more time to see if who pops in. Nice, me too, Barb. That's where I get it. Gotcha. See, I haven't touched a paper. Well, I haven't read a paperback book in so long. I really am spoiled with my Audible though. So, ooh, the Amazon truck's coming down the road. I hope it's my mattress so I can get that camper taken care of. All right, so there's only about 4 of us in here right now, so I was hoping give it a couple more minutes. See if Ruth can pop in. I know she said she was going to, so I just hopefully I just realized I'm wearing the same shirt that I had on for Coffee with Kim, but I try not to wear the same clothes for more than one video. But hey, it happens. Oh yeah, I hope that van stops in front of me and drops off my mattress for my camper. So, okay, while you guys are here, before we start talking about the book, do you guys have any ideas of authors or any other books you might? Really? All right. Well, Margaret, it depends on if I'm playing with paint. We know that. Then I'll change several times today. Fritzy's acting weird today. It's making me nervous. He's extra quiet, but I'm keeping an eye on him. So, okay. Good. Margaret, yay. Do you want to put the list in chat or do you want to email it to me? I put my email way up at the beginning of the chat if you want to check that out. I have had a few people send them to me, so I'm making a good list. And here's my thought. Whatever book, I'm going to put them all in like a random drawing, and whatever book gets chosen, that person, whoever suggested it, hi, Lisa, whoever suggested it, Fritz is too. Whoever suggested the book, I'm going to send them a free copy, however they like it, for being the book club of the month winner. You know what I mean? So get your suggestions in, and whatever book is chosen, that person will get a free copy however they want it. If you want an audio book or if you want an actual, soft copy, I'll just have it delivered to you from Amazon. Lisa, yay! Did you start the book at all? I'm taking attendance. Oh yeah, good. So for those of us that are here, overall, thumbs up if you like the book. Thumbs up if it's not your type. Let me know the feeling. What feeling are you getting from the book? I'll start. I love it. There's a lot of things I'm learning from it, like giving a different perspective. And it is hard to put down because you want to know what this little girl is going to get into next. And I think the very first few scenes where she's all by herself and so scared, and then Papa meets her at the taxi. Nice. You start to, I don't know, they used to put it, you got it wrapped around your finger. So Liesl has me wrapped around her finger because I want to see, and when she giggles and when she plays, it's just, I love watching her when she's happy, and I feel sad when she's sad. So I'm glad you guys all like it. I'm glad. That's cool. Karen, what do you think? What are your feelings on the book? Because sometimes you can get a book that just makes you too sad and you can't read it. I don't know if you guys used to watch Friends, but do you remember that? Was it Phoebe? Rachel, one of them used to put it in the freezer. If the book was too sad, they'd put it in the freezer because it would freeze it. Good, you guys. I'm glad everybody loves it. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Because I randomly just picked it. You know what I mean? Good. I'm glad you all like it. But if it gets too sad, just put it in the freezer. I think it was Joey. He didn't want to read the end. I don't know. I didn't. I can quote Seinfeld better than I can do Friends. But all right. So let's oh, look at that. 9 people and 9 thummies. You guys are awesome. So I'll just read a quick synopsis. I remember that word. So I had in chapters 4 through 14, the book Thief, the story continues to unfold against the backdrop of Nazi Germany. Liesel Meminger settles into her new life with her foster parents, Hans and Rosa Huberman, in the fictional town of Mulching. During this time, Liesel becomes acquainted with her new surroundings, including the local school where she faces challenges. Oh, haha. Good question, Gail. I'm going to write that down and we'll talk about it. That's a great question. Okay. Let's see. She faces challenges in school with reading and writing and getting in fights. However, with the help of Hans, Papa, who patiently teaches her to read using the Grave Digger's Handbook, you remember that's the book she got the day her brother was buried. The relationship between Liesel and Hans deepens as they bond over their shared love of reading, while Liesel's relationship with Rosa remains distant and complicated. I don't think Rosa's that different or that distant. I think she just doesn't know how, kind of like my brother. He'll poke me in the arm or say something, to pick on me when he really just wants to hug me. So I think it's kind of like that. I think Rosa just doesn't know how to show it. Amidst the day-to-day struggles of life under the oppressive Nazi regime, Liesel finds solace in stolen moments of joy and connection with those around her. However, the threat of war looms ever closer, and the shadow of the Nazi ideology grows darker, casting a pall over the lives of Liesel and her loved ones. Throughout these chapters, the narrative explores themes of resilience, the power of storytelling, and the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. Liesel's journey from the traumatized orphan to the brave young girl who finds strength in words is the heart of the story. So that I really find that right. Rosa was probably raised where you don't show a weakness by hugging somebody or saying I love you or whatever. I agree. All right. So Gail, what makes you think she's Jewish? Because her mother left? So why did her mother have to leave her? My thoughts is the father left or died and she couldn't afford the kids anymore. And back then it was acceptable to find a home for your children, foster them out or adopt them out. And you would even get a little bit of money, in some places. So that would help them out. So I can't elaborate much more, but that is a great insight, Gail. I love that. Right. Right. I agree, Margaret. Or maybe she's half Jewish. Maybe she's half Jewish and maybe the mom knew that she was doomed and had to get her with a German family. So, all right. 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 So maybe the mom knew she was dying and had to give the kids up because if she just died, then the kids would be orphaned and she wouldn't know what happened to them. Or she wouldn't have control over what happened to them. Whereas with here, she placed them with a foster family and she had control. Yes. And they do mention the word communist a lot. Yes. In Max. Yeah. Yep. So there's a lot of cross referencing in there where it keeps you guessing, Who is she really? Who was her real mother? Um, who are the Hubermans really? I mean, why didn't he join? That's all right, Linda. Hang out. Hang out. We'll talk about the book, and you'll know about it anyway. You did read the book, though? You are discussing a book. I haven't read a book. Oh, well, we'll just tell you right now. I'll just give you a synopsis of it, and you let me know if you want to hang out. So we're reading a book called The Book Thief. And here's the cover. And The Book Thief is set in Nazi Germany. And this is almost like the opposite side of the Anne Frank story. This is about a little German girl who has been given up by her mom. Her brother has died. She's been given up by her mom, and she's living with her foster parents. And this story is how she adapts to it, her struggles, and what the town goes through, looking at it through a German lens instead of through the Jewish lens. Exactly, Gail. Exactly. Rosa is, you can tell. You can tell that Rosa has the soft spot for the girl, but yeah, she's not as tough as yeah. Now, especially when it comes to Max in the basement. So you would think if Rosa was really that hard, one, she wouldn't be letting a Jewish boy stay in her basement. And two, she certainly wouldn't cut her family's rations to take care of him. So it's absolutely the fact that she's a lot softer than we think she is, but she's got to keep, she's the strength of the family, right? So yes, exactly. Kind of like me. I'm kidding. So Linda, hang out. Maybe, grab a seltzer or water or whatever you want, cup of tea. You guys, I'm going to go over the questions that it suggested. What I do is I go to that chat GPT and I tell it to give me 25 discussion questions. Good, Linda. Good, good, good. And also there's a link to the book, Linda, way up top. I can give it again. It just in case you want it. Here, let me get this, copy the link, put it over here. I am just a nutty. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So anyway, there's the link to the book, Linda, just in case. It is available in audio. So, and it's also for $3. I think you can watch it on YouTube because I watched it the other day. So, okay, here we go. Question or discussion point number 1. How does Liesel's relationship with Hans evolve through these chapters, and what role does he play in her life? My opinion is obviously it gets very strong. And he is her real papa and what a papa should be. Let me explain. He is the comforting role to her. He is the one that she looks to as her friend and security. Thank you, for goodness sakes. That's what I was looking for. He is her security. Absolutely. I think it's her one true, rock in her life is what I feel. I'm gonna wait a second, see if anybody else has a thought on that. I do love his character. It's pretty cool. All right, the next one. In what ways does Liesel's friendship with Rudy influence her character's development? Oh, absolutely, Margaret. Yes. And he knows how important words are to her and books are to her. So that's just another thing that strengthens the bond with them. Yeah. Yeah, he's her consistent. He's her one. Like, how many times is she, are you going to tell mama? And he's like, no. So, yeah, he's absolutely the one true. And that little Rudy. So, in my head, I can picture him because I watched the movie. Yes. Yeah. So she's definitely getting to the point where she's trusting them as parental. They're not just the people she's living with. She's feeling like they're parents to her. Absolutely. And I think once she realizes, her mom had to give her up for some reason, and she moves on with that, that's a big step in her life as well. And Hans helps her with that too. So little Rudy, that is the definition of love at first sight, if I ever heard it. And the movie, the little boy they have play him in the movie is so cute. Like, he's so adorable. So while I'm listening to the book and going over these questions, I'm picturing his little, and he's adorable. So, and he absolutely is infatuated with her from the second he meets her. That's legit love at first sight, and it's so cool. And she, of course, won't admit that she likes him, and they're only 11 or 12 at this point. So, but it's the typical, they're best friends. Oh, he is just this little sweetie. And he keeps, how about that kiss, he says. And she's like, no way. So that's really cute. So discuss the significance of books and reading in Liesel's life, especially considering her struggles with literacy. We did talk about that a little bit last week. And I think more so as she gets older, the books become a precious commodity to her. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So, and yeah, I can't, I gotta wait and see. Has Rudy jumped in the water yet? In chapter 4, up to chapter 14? Well, anyway, who else would go through what he goes through? If you guys just let me know, if you're reading the book, what chapter you did get to, and if yes, and if you, because I want to be able to discuss it and then decide what chapters we're going to go through next week. Can't type. Well, that's all right. Let's see. Oh, my iPad went out. What do Liesel's experience at school reveal about the educational system and societal norms during that time period? That's a great question. So the kids like circled around her and just called her Dummkopf. And obviously that wouldn't be tolerated today. I mean, and then they put her in a lower class, like they put her in with the kindergartners, and she's, 12, 13. So the difference, and plus the discipline. I mean, I went to a public school where they weren't, they really didn't discipline you, but this is, woo. If anybody ever treated my kid like that, I don't know. But so it's quite a difference. The school was very, very strict back then and there. Analyze the symbolism of the grave. Huh. Let me get you. I don't have an opinion on this one, so let me read it. Analyze the symbolism of the Gravedigger's Handbook and its impact on Liesel's understanding of the world. Okay. Okay. So I can't analyze the symbolism of the Gravedigger's Handbook and its impact on Liesel's understanding of the world. I guess I would say, yeah, true. I guess I would say if she were to learn a lesson from that handbook, it would be, if you're going to do a job, do it right and do it completely. I think that would be what I would pull from that book, the Gravedigger's Handbook. Because remember, the first time they made it all the way through, Papa said to her, when I die, make sure they bury me right. But I think that's what I would get out of it. it teaches her that if you're going to take on a task, first of all, complete it and do your best to complete it at as best as you can. Let's see. Correct, Gail. That's a good one. That even like the narrator, Death, says, we're all going to die, right? He says it in the beginning of the book. Let's get this straight. You're all going to die. You're all going to meet me eventually. So I think you're right. Liesl, it's a realization that everybody's going to die eventually. The problem is this poor kid, she's had not necessarily death, but she's had so much loss around her. She did have, her brother did pass, but other than that, she's just lost so many people in her young life, All right. Oh, I wish my iPad wouldn't go to sleep so fast. How does the theme of resilience manifest in Liesl's life and the lives of those around her? Well, these poor people, they're literally having to put up with the war going on around them. Plus, even though they are German, the Nazis they almost seem like they're their enemy as well. So whenever the Nazis pull up in the cars in the village, everybody's scared, even though they're on the same side, right? They're all afraid that they're doing something wrong. And I think the resilience is they all just keep going. They just keep doing life, day-to-day life, despite everything going around. Despite having to run to a basement how many times a week, Discuss the significance of Liesl's thievery and its moral implications throughout the story. Now, yes, it does. Correct. Like that woman that spits on her door every day. Correct. And that's just it, Margaret. These people aren't Jewish and they're still afraid. And you're right, because they did something wrong. Either they were a sympathizer, or they had a different opinion, or they spoke out about a different opinion. Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, you're going through in your small little town, and you're on the winning team, or as they saw it, the right team, but you're still terrified that you're going to do something wrong and you're going to get hurt anyway. So I can't imagine how that's a terrible way to think of it. Absolutely. Oh. Okay, so back to this. Explore the role of storytelling and literature in the form of escapism for Liesl and other characters. Right, exactly, Margaret. So this question is a good one because as the whole town is having to run into the basement, and Liesl decides to read to them. At first, they're all like, "What? Who's talking? What's going on? What is that noise?" And then by the next few times, they're all expecting her to read to them. So I think her reading is a calming, plus it takes their mind off of it. They're stuck in somebody's basement for God knows how long, So I think that's a big part of it. I think reading is definitely a way for Liesl to put herself in a different place. Whether it's in the library at the Burgermeister's house, or whether it's the books that Max wrote for her that she's reading in the basement, whatever it is, I think that's an escape for her. So I think that definitely, and it's funny because a lot of us take reading for granted. I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to it on an audiobook. Back then, they didn't have TV or any internet or any of that. Reading was how they found adventure, how they, went different places, saw different things. So met different people. Let's see. How do the minor characters such as Frau Hermann and Max Vandenberg contribute overall to the themes and the plot development? Well, I think Max is a big contribution to the overall theme. Yeah. Good, Karen. That's good. Like I said, I listen to the audiobooks, but I totally immerse myself in the story. So my daughter likes to feel the book and have it. I have problem with my eyes and I have restless legs. So the second I sit down, they're jumping, and there's no relaxing for it. So the audiobook is the way I do it. But definitely books are a way to escape for a lot of people. Where am I? So the minor characters. Well, Frau Herman, she's the one who spits on the front door. And Max Vandenberg is, living in the basement. Correct. It shows normal life, right? It shows we're in a town that's surrounded by war and death and everything, but there's still normal life. And I think that's how the secondary minor characters just build that up. Like, like the nun in the school and all the boys and kids that Lisa will play soccer with and stuff. So without that, you wouldn't really have the meat and potatoes of the whole story. Oh, here's a good one. I really want you guys' input on this. What parallels can be drawn between Liesel's personal struggles and the broader historical content of World War II? That's a great question. I think I can say it in one word: resilience. I mean, the world was at war, everything was going wrong, and yet people were trudging through it day to day. And that was, you have to get through it, right? So I think the countries were going through the same thing. Well, you had to compromise and you had to give up things, just like Liesel did. I think the comparison, she could be representative of Germany as a whole. She kept getting knocked down and getting back up again, knocked down and back up again. That's my opinion for that, how the parallels are. I'm reading on while you guys think. All right, let's see. Analyze the significance of Rudy's obsession with Jesse Owens and the symbolic meaning within the narrative. It's so adorable. He painted his face black and ran around the track. Correct. And Margaret, that's the one thing I learned most from this book. That's absolutely the one thing I pulled out of this book, bigger than everything, was even though it was Nazi Germany and everybody just says Germany's so bad, Germany, there were normal day-to-day people that didn't do this. They just got caught up in it. I love that, Margaret. That's perfect. Perfect. So Rudy with Jesse Owens. For me, the fact that Rudy loved Jesse Owens so much, it was good because he didn't see an African-American person winning medals. He saw an athlete who was amazing. And even when his father told him, you can't want to be like him, he's like, why not? He's the best. He's the fastest. Rudy took down any border, any judgment, and he just loved Jesse Owens for the fact that Jesse Owens was amazing and fast and the fastest man in the world. He didn't care that Hitler hated him. He didn't care that Hitler wouldn't shake his hand. Exactly. He saw an amazing human that ran like the wind and he wanted to be like him. And he could not understand when his father was telling him, you can't be like that. The kid was like, why not? I want to be like that. So I thought that was really good. Definitely a child's innocence. And he even, when he got a little bit older, excuse me, they all called him Jesse Owens. Let's see. Correct. So the children yeah, the children see who they see, not what they are in public. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Sure. Liesel didn't want to put on that Hitler Youth uniform. She didn't want to go to those meetings. She didn't want to Heil Hitler every time she went somewhere, but she had to, you know? Exactly, Margaret. Nobody's taught to hate, or nobody hates until they're taught to hate. And that's a great point. He saw somebody amazing. He didn't see a skin color. And it's the same can be said with Liesel and Max. Liesel didn't see a Jewish guy in the basement. Liesel saw a cool guy in the basement who loved books and loved to talk with her and this and that. She didn't see what he was. She just knew who he was and loved him. So it's a good comparison. Yeah. Trying to find a good one. How does the theme of friendship and loyalty resonate through the chapters? Well, for that, I think it's in my head, Papa and Rudy come up as the most loyal people in her life. And they're there consistently. All right, let's see. Explored the motive of death and its portrayal in the story, particularly through the character of death as the narrator. I do find it very interesting. It confused me at first, but then once I got into the fact that, okay, this is death talking. So he even says, as the narrator, he says, I've seen people at their worst. I've seen them, when they're doing the worst things possible. He says, and I've also seen them at their most innocent. So when he saw Rudy put the teddy bear next to that dying pilot, he witnessed that and he remembered it years later, And I think that also death, he's portrayed as someone who's caring. He's not just, okay, you're dead, that's it. He gently takes the souls, as he puts it. He gently carries the souls. Yes, exactly, Gail. Yep. It was funny because Liesel turned out like Rudy and Rosa, or Papa and Rosa, and that Papa and Rosa's real kids turned out to be, the opposite. But I think the portrayal of death as someone who's gentle, as someone who handles the souls nicely and sweetly and caringly, is a nice way to look at it. Instead of looking at death as being so harsh all the time, you can also look at it, to some people, there was one character in the book who was suffering. And he said, I just knelt down and I took him to put him out of his suffering. So it's nice to see the softer side or a different view of it. Analyze the motive of seeing and its significance in the narrative. I think, is that question talking about when Liesel actually describes the days to him? Yeah, Margaret. Yeah. He does. He does, Karen. Margaret, I like to think the same thing. The same with my sister. When my sister passed, I like to think that it was a relief for her to finally stop fighting, take a deep breath, and say, "Okay, now I can stop." Same with my mom. You know, she could take a deep breath and say, "All right, no more." Like I said, death was a gift for them at that point. Not for us, obviously, because we're still left behind and we still have the pain we have to deal with of the loss. But just a different side. Um, let's see. Loss and grief throughout these characters. Now, so many people in that village lose people in so many different ways. You know, they lose them to war, they lose them to they don't know where they went. Just like Papa and Rosa, they didn't know where their son was. He walked out one night and never came back, you know. Um, and they cope with their loss and grief by carrying on, by putting their efforts into keeping on. You know, you keep on keeping on. So let's see. Discuss the role of hope and optimism in the face of adversity. I've been called a Pollyanna at times because I'm always looking for the brighter side. So I kind of like books like this that always have a brighter side, or a story or a person in the story that's always looking for the brighter side. And I think that's what this is. I think it's such a dark subject that they had to put in some hope and some optimism, or the book would have just been too dark. Some people can't make it through a book that's all, you know, dark. And I get it. It's reality. It really happened. But you know, you've got to find a way to put some hope, encouragement, some kind of levity in there. Sorry, I'm looking at Fritz and he's ridiculous. But excuse me, that's drinking seltzer. So that's what I think. I think they had to put that in there just to give people a little bit of levity in the story. Reflect on Liesel's growth and transformation from the beginning of the story to this point. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lisa, sorry, I got preoccupied. My thing turned off. All right. Reflect on Liesel's growth and transformation from the beginning of the story to this point, and speculate on what you think is going to happen in the future and her development. I think she has become more secure. She's not a scared little kid anymore. She's still a little kid, but she's not scared of everything anymore. I think she's coming to love her parents, even Mama, though she's tough. And I think she really does love Rudy up to this point. So I think those are the three things that I'm getting from it. And she's very, what's the word? She loves Max, but I think she loves Max as a brother. I think those are the four most important relationships in her life. And those are the four areas where she's grown so much. Yes, she's finding out that, you know, if you get kicked and you get knocked down, come on back. You know, there's another way, there's another something, you know. There's another day. And I like how Max makes her describe the weather to him. And she's also growing for that. So she's growing in her ability to express herself in many ways. But I think by him having her talk through all these things, like she's, oh yeah, it's a sunny day. He goes, no, tell me how it feels. So she's learning that words can be feelings as well as just words. I think she's growing quite a bit. She does have a lot of inner strength, boy. That kid has put up with a lot. So Linda, if you're still with us, what do you think so far? Are you still there listening? Let me see. Interesting discussion about the various aspects. All right. So other than Liesel right now, who's your favorite character? other than Liesel, because she's the main character. Who's your favorite? I love Rudy. I just love Rudy. He's adorable. So I think, yeah, I think Rudy is just too adorable. Yep. Yep. Mama. Rose. Nice. So we got 2 for Mama. Nice. The funny thing is, so far, none of us have picked Papa. I think he's just because he's just this big old bear and we love him. But I just love Rudy. He just won't give up. How about that kiss? And he's always there. You know, when she was she hurt her knee, he comes back and checks on her. He's just adorable. Anybody else? Anybody else out there want to tell me who your favorite character is? He is sweet, yeah. And he's funny and he's innocent and he's got a lot of brothers and sisters. And he takes care of them as well, you know. I think, Linda, that it's historical fiction. I think it is, yeah, Papa. I think it's historical fiction. And I really love historical fiction because it sticks to the truth, but it elaborates on the truth. So they still have to have the details right. Like there were still air raids and there was still this and there was still that. But they can fill in the blanks, if you will. Let me just see. The Book Thief. Let's see. True story. Let's see what it says. While the events and settings and the government in The Book Thief are real, and they really did happen, the characters are fictional. There was no Lisa, no Max, no Hans. So it was based on truth. Yeah, I love historical fiction. I live right near the Saratoga battlefield where the Revolutionary War ended. So I started reading historical fiction about like Hamilton and all of them. That's what got me into it. So I love that. So anyway, Linda, if you're interested, let me know. I would love to have you. Yeah, I love historical fiction, me too. What do you think, you guys? You think how many chapters do you think we can read till next week? I'm going to let you guys tell me. Because like I said, it's a quick read. And like a lot of you have mentioned, you've read ahead and you can't put it down. So I don't want to limit you all to stopping, which I know don't. If you go further, you go further. That's all there is to it. Yes, Outlander is historical fiction, and some of it takes place right up here by me, which is cool, right on the Hudson River. So that's pretty neat. So what do you guys think? How far do you want to read for next week? Yeah. I liked Outlander till the last season. We could put that. Yes, good. Watch the movie, Linda. It's really good. Okay, well, why don't we do 12? Why don't we do 12 chapters? What do you think? Okay. So we'll read up to chapter 26. The title is The Book Thief. You want me to find the movie for you? I can if you want. Here, hold on. Let me find, because all I did was Google video. Here. It's a film from 2023. And you can watch it on YouTube for $3.99. Here, I'm going to send you the. Yeah. Let me click on share, copy. I'm sending you the link right now. Oh, sorry, too late. I already did it. There it is. All right, you guys. So we will read up to chapter 26 for next week. No, but if you'd like to send that in, or I can just write it down. The Radium Girl. I'll put that down, Margaret. And like I'm trying to do books. Okay, perfect. I'm trying to do books that I have never read, and I've never read that one. So I will put that in as your suggestion, Margaret. That's perfect. And hold on, let me go up here just one more. Gail, would you like to suggest Outlander, or would you like to consider that your suggestion? That's all right. I don't mind heavy reads. I don't mind funny. I don't mind sad. I don't mind love stories. I will read anything. So, Gail, do you want me to put down Outlander as your suggestion? That's all right. It's up to you guys. The Great Alone. Okay. Okay, Gail. Karen, yours is The Great Alone. Okay. And like I said, whoever's book gets chosen, we'll do it at random. I will send you that book to read for the club, so you don't have to buy it. But all right, you guys, this was a great meeting. I really feel like we talked about some really cool stuff. I appreciate you guys all with your input. I really love having the discussion about it. I also like seeing your point of view as well as mine. So it's really fun. I hope you guys are having a good time. Yay! I'm glad you like it, Lisa. So this is awesome. This is really fun. Gives me a break from crafting and creating to just slow my brain down and read a little bit. So I like it. So next Wednesday, same time, same station, 3 o'clock, I will set up the live and have it ready. Hopefully I'll see you guys this weekend, Saturday, Sunday for my lives, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And I really appreciate you guys being here. So thank you all very much. And don't forget, if you think of another book, even if you've already given me one, email it to me. Okay? All right, you guys, have a great day. Oh, 9 a.m. is too early for you, Lynn. Yeah, I did. I used to do 8 a.m. and I know it's, yeah. All right, cool. I have that on the list. All right, you guys, I'm compiling the list for our next book. And, oh, yeah. Sorry, Linda. And I will see you all next Wednesday. Bye, guys. I hope you have a great week. Bye.